What's up, YouTube friends and family? Hopefully all of you are doing well. I have a niche fragrance review on the channel today, and this one's a new release for the year 2025. Been getting a lot of designer releases for the year 2025 in, but wanted to give the niche fragrance the spotlight today. And the one we are going to be talking about is from the house of Argos, and it is Neptune's Trident. Going to be hopping more into the presentation in today's video, along with notes, accords, wearability, performance, longevity, and how the darn thing smells. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that jazz, and I'll be right back to talk more Neptune's Trident right after this. Let's start out with that presentation of the fragrance, and with the power of editing, I took the fragrance box out of the box here. So there's two boxes when you get this fragrance. And the thing I like about the House of Argos is they inspire their arts, or their fragrances, I guess you could say, over Greek mythology. And this one's, of course, got Neptune. There he is right there. So there is the art style on the front of this. On the side, you got a little bit more of that art. And now on this side as well. Then at the top, then at the box there. And then at the back, you got the ingredients. You got the barcode. Hopefully I'm pointing at that right. But yeah, and this is an extrait de parfum, just so you all know. And really like the boxes from the House of Argos. All their fragrances are inspired after different Greek kind of mythology, kind of what I mentioned before. So I like that. I was always a big fan of that kind of Roman times when I was learning a history class. But here is the box here. So the box within the box, blue, kind of an aqua color. So I kind of feel like this gives off the vibe. You already know what you're getting into with this fragrance, but you got the logo there again, Neptune's Trident. And then you open this bad boy up, and this is magnetic. It's got magnetic kind of I guess circles right there. I don't know if you all can see it on the camera. And then sits in the fragrance. It sits in there snug, and I'm going to pull it out, get to the bottle in a second. But Neptune's Trident kind of gives a story of the artist. And this is Argos' Fragrances Artist Series, as you can tell up there. And I'm just going to give a shout out to Joanne Michael Ratamar. Hopefully I probably butchered that, but that is the artist that came up with the art for Neptune's Trident. But I want to hop into the notes on this fragrance because they are listed on this box here. So in the top, you got Mandarin orange, petitgrain, cardamom. In the heart or the mid, so when you hear heart, that could mean the mid of the fragrance as well. Don't get that really confused from time to time, so just wanted to clarify that. So you got green tea, black tea, orange blossom, and jasmine. And then the base, you got vetiver and Brett, which is musk. And then you got iris, okay? So that is this box here. Very nice presentation, quality presentation. And let's hop into that bottle real quick before we hop into the top of the fragrance. So you got the plaque right there, Mr. Neptune. He's sitting on a squid there. He's on the throne. That's pretty awesome. Really like that. And all these new Argos fragrances, they're getting the frosted glass treatment. I always like the frosted glass or a gradient. That's nice. And the cap does fit into place snugly. As you can tell, I'm having a really hard time pulling it off right now. But put it in there. Right there. It's got Argos at the bottom there, and then you got the diamond in there as well. And then at the bottom, you got a little sticker. But yes, the juice has got like a yellow hue to it. But yeah, and then you got Argos engraved on there. Really, again, I really enjoy Argos' presentation. These glass bottles are very hefty. And one thing you can't do is hold it by the cap. There you go. Perfect. But enough about that presentation. Now let's hop into the opening of this fragrance here. So to start it all off, you are going to get a big blast of citrus right on that initial spray. So right when you spray it on that skin, you're going to get a lot of that Mandarin orange. But I also do get other citrus facets in the opening here, which I get some bergamot as well. What fragrance doesn't use bergamot at this point? But it is pleasing. It is enjoyable to smell in this fragrance. And I also get something that isn't listed in that official note breakdown or on notes on any website. I get like a lemon feel, kind of a lemon-ass feel. And I think that is coming from the green tea and black tea combo of this fragrance in that heart or in that mid. But it is really enjoyable. I kind of get like a lemongrass vibe a little bit. And in that opening, if I had to give this fragrance some accords in the opening, I'm really getting spiciness, I'm getting some citrus, and I'm getting some aquatics and freshness as well. And then also, I mean, throughout the whole fragrance, I'm getting all four of those accords, but most prominent in that opening for me are the aquatics, the freshness, and the spiciness. This fragrance is also green and fresh, and I'm not getting as much of that freshness in that opening just because I feel like the aquaticness of the fragrance in that opening is taking charge. And that spiciness is probably coming from that cardamom in this scent here when I'm smelling it off my skin. But I think the spiciness contributes to both of those tea notes as well. They're very strong in that opening. And this comes off as something that is mineral-esque to me. Overall, this feels like you just got to the beach. So maybe around 1 or 12 p.m., you get to that beach. Your day's just starting. The sun is at its highest point. You're getting set up. You got some grass behind you, kind of that long grass overall. Maybe even some lemongrass as well, because I want to mention, got some lemon in here. And you're just sitting, you're vibing, you're enjoying the time. You got some salt water coming up, hitting your toes possibly, or you're standing, and you got a nice beverage there. You're enjoying the day, getting your suntan on, hopping in the water a little bit, getting a little wet, I guess you could say, overall. It's very... it puts you in that mindset of a daytime beach in that opening, and I can really kind of relive to where I went on my travels and went to beaches like that, and that's where this puts me in that mindset. Very citrus heavy, mineral heavy type of scent with some freshness on there, and the opening, it's quality. It's done. It's nicely done, well blended, and it puts that mindset of being at that beach again. Really enjoyable here to my taste personally. And I get a little grindiness with that citrus, you know, and that might be coming from the minerality as well. But that aquaticness with this scent, you do get that, but I feel like it's contributing to both the citrus and that aquaticness that is making that marine type feel, but the spiciness is really, really prominent, which equals out that grindiness of the aquatic notes or the citrus, wherever it's coming from. So overall opening, very pleasant, really like it. And definitely if you like your kind of aquatic, spicy, green type of scents, this is definitely one that I feel like could warrant a sample, at least from the opening here. Getting a little bit too ahead of myself. Let me hop into the mid of the fragrance, and then I'll come back to those statements I just made about maybe you should get a sample and all that stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the mid, talk more about that in this fragrance here. In the mid of the fragrance, or in the heart, however you want to call it, this does change a little bit, okay? I'm getting a little bit less of that citrus, that grindy citrus that's really packing a punch in that opening. And I forgot to mention in the opening, this opening lasts about 3 to 4 hours, I would say. And 4 hours is pushing it. That's if I had a really good skin chemistry day. But I'd say it more goes into the 3-hour mark for me in that opening, which is very surprising for a fresh fragrance. And then you're going to get those heart notes coming out more. You're going to get more of that black tea than you are that green tea. This gets more spicy, this gets more green, and I feel like the aquaticness kind of backs off a little bit, and the citrus backs off as well. They listed jasmine, but that might be contributing to a few things here, but I don't really get the jasmine in this. I don't get any floral feel with it. I'm getting a lot of green, a lot of spice, and I feel like that cardamom's a green cardamom, and it's sticking around from the opening into that mid, but it might all be contributing to that green tea and black tea note. But that lemony kind of feel that I mentioned before, and that bergamot and that mandarin, it's kind of gone away a little bit. I am still getting a little tinge of the mandarin in the mid, but overall, this is in the mid, a spicy, fresh, green type of scent. And also getting some woods coming out in here. In the base, there is some vetiver that was listed as well. Sandalwood, I am getting a little bit of that. And if I had to put my finger on it, this reminds me of that midway day through the beach. So basically going from 12 to 1, now we're about 3 to 4 in the afternoon. That sun's kind of dropping down from the sky, but it's still prominent. You can still feel it. The sun rays are coming down on you. You're kind of getting tired, but you're glad to still be at the beach. You got that saltwater vibe in the air. Coming along with some lemongrass as well. And that vibe's kind of gone down. You're getting more of the air breeze from the sea than you are with the grass and stuff. So maybe you move closer to that water on the beach. But I still get a little bit of that minerality as well. And it kind of puts me in that mindset that I'm laying in the sand a little bit, which is kind of funny. I was like, oh yeah, kind of laying in the sand a little bit. So this is mid-afternoon in the mid of the fragrances. What a coincidence. That's what kind of mindset it puts me in. I still got that nice drink with me. Maybe it's now a kind of cold tea brew per se, because like I said, the tea's very heavy in the mid. And overall, this is again, very nicely done, well, I guess, very good quality mid in this fragrance. And I will say, just talking about this mid in the opening, a lot of people are going to frame this scent as, you got people overhyping the house right here, this fragrance, but oh my gosh, the best thing I ever smelled, 10 out of 10, blah, blah, blah. But then you got people that are saying this is bargain bin, this is not good, this is something that goes off my skin in 5 minutes. Well, in my opinion here, this fragrance is done nicely. It's done nicely. The ingredients is mixed well. It's not something that is going to reinvent the wheel, okay? It's not something that is bargain bin as well. This is right in the middle for me. From the House of Argos, this is an excellent release, I feel like, and something they needed. They didn't have a really aquatic-esque scent per se that really focused on the aquatics and the freshness. A lot of the scents I know that I've been trying from the House of Argos are very resinous, spicy, sweet. So this is a good change of pace. And like I mentioned, it's not something that if you're looking for very creative ideas, you're going to get out of this one. But this is done differently than some fragrances I have seen being compared to this, which for one, Louis Vuitton Imagination, this does have musk, this does have tea in it, but two very different type of scents there. The citrus kind of goes in a different direction than this one here. Like I mentioned, this one's a little grindy. That one's a little bit more sweet to my nose, and that tea is used differently, along with Louis Vuitton has a special type of musk. They use that musk well done perfectly. The perfumer of that house that does their scents, he's one of my favorite perfumers. But with this one here from the House of Argos, this musk is used differently in this scent, which makes it very enjoyable. And like I said, the woods come out, the vetiver and all that jazz. So this is something that does its own thing, in my opinion. It does have some commonalities for some other tea fragrances. For example, Oolong Cha I've seen. That tea, yes. I don't know if Oolong Cha off the top of my head has musk in it, but I could see where people are getting that idea of imagination. But this is a fresh aquatic tea scent. And the person that makes Argos's fragrances did an excellent job crafting this here. But enough about that. Let's go hop into the dry down or the end of the fragrance's lifespan. For that dry down, you are going to get kind of the vibes of maybe like 5, 6 o'clock now. So that sun's kind of dropping down and you got a little sunrise, okay? So it's kind of behind the clouds. It's kind of cooled down a little bit. And that's how this fragrance kind of reminds me of. It gets more peaceful, gets more calming to my nose. Less spicy. Freshness is still pumping out like crazy, I will say. That aquaticness, the citrus is in the backdrop, but you're getting a lot more of that tea. That iris is coming out for me a lot in the base, in this dry down here. And I'm getting a little creaminess with this, which is very enjoyable to my nose. And if you like iris, this isn't the one that's going to be the makeup-y iris. This is going to be more creamy, at least to me. More creamy. Excellent use of it as well. Excellent use of the woods as well. Getting a little bit more of that vetiver. And I feel like that vetiver is kind of more in, it's a 50-50 blend of kind of that flinty vetiver if you've ever had to deal with a vetiver type scent. And it does have the clean aspects of that vetiver as well. So kind of two different types to my nose. Overall, this dry down kind of puts me in a peaceful state, and kind of what I mentioned, it's wrapping up your night at the beach, walking off the beach, enjoying that sunset. You're still getting whiffs of the water, but it's not as heavy. The wind's kind of dried down a little bit. You got your burnt suntan going on, or you got a pretty nice suntan, depending on what lotions or oils used or whatever. And you're ready for a nap. You're ready to go to bed. Overall, this scent in that dry down puts me in a calming state because that tea is still pretty prominent, but you're getting more of that creamy iris. You're getting more of the woods coming out, and that freshness is still prominent with that spiciness coming in, but that creaminess of the vetiver, or excuse me, the creaminess of the iris kind of backs it off a little bit, and the woods coming out kind of back off that spiciness, but it's still a green feel in the dry down. And this scent is not a linear scent, so it does have changes, and the chords kind of move around when you are wearing this scent. So it's very enjoyable, kind of what I mentioned, like a full beach day. But overall, this scent from the House of Argos, I would say best times to wear it, spring, summer, of course, and even maybe early fall. I'll have to give it some wears in the winter once the wintertime comes around. Definitely something I need to keep my eye out on, because your fragrances work differently depending on the seasons, and they might work, a fresh fragrance, aquatic fragrance might work very well in that wintertime. Don't pigeonhole your fragrances, but for my nose, spring, summer, and maybe early fall. This would be more of a daytime scent for me. I feel like this would be a safe work scent as well if you manage your sprays, just know where you're going, what you're doing. But this could work very well, I feel like, if not the first date, okay? Not the first date, maybe 3 or 4 dates in, depending where you're at, like what country, what state. If you're in the United States, this could work very well as a date night scent, especially in that kind of hotter summer nights. And usually I haven't been able to wear this too much. I've been wearing it mostly around the house, but very enjoyable around the AC. I think I've worn it outside like twice, and I've worn it inside about 5 or 6 times, I want to say. And this one here, it does have a very nice appeal to it, but I don't feel like it's going to be one that you're going to get a lot of compliments on. This is a grown-up type scent. I feel like a guy middle age and older, maybe like 25, 26 and up would wear this. But if you're going out a night on the town, or you got a date night going on, this might be an excellent choice to pull out, because it does have that staying power that would help in that high heat. And then also it's got those woods, it's got that creaminess, and it's got that citrus on top of everything to make it appealing. It's, like I mentioned, it's a quality type scent, nice scent. And for me personally, I'm giving Neptune's Trident a 9 out of 10 for a niche release for the year 2025. I really, really like this scent. It's got all the chords I'd want: spiciness, green, aquatic, fresh, and citrusy. And that tea note is used very well, and this is something that takes the tea note and moves it into a little different direction. Yes, it's got similarities to other fragrances, but for me and my nose, I have not smelled a tea, aquatic, green type scent like this, but it does have bits and pieces that is going to remind you of other fragrances, but it is a quality fragrance. This isn't no bargain bin fragrance. And in my opinion, for the creative scale, if you're looking something for completely different, don't look at this, because it's not going to be something that's going to reinvent the wheel, but this is quality. This is something that I was looking for in my fresher, summery type of scents. So 9 out of 10 on this one. If you're definitely interested in trying Neptune's Trident, make sure to get a sample. Try it out on your skin, not the tester strip. The tester strip can fool you from time to time, but I'm glad that I was able to get a bottle of this, and who knows, probably by the end of the summer, this is going to have a pretty big dent in it, and definitely if I make any lists on the channel, going to be including this one. But Neptune's Trident from the House of Argos, really enjoy this one, and let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Argos fragrance is. They have a lot to offer from the house, and they just came out, I think they came out with another new release along this one as well, because I got a sample with it, but I forget the name, can't figure the name off the top of my head. But yeah, let me know your favorite Argos fragrance in the comments down below and why. I appreciate everybody joining me throughout this whole video. Thank you for sticking around to this point. Make sure that you stay healthy, stay positive, be true, and I will see you all in the next video.